Welcome to today's presentation on optimization now and into the future. Hopefully it provides some insights into how optimization works and the areas we may see optimization used in the future. To put things in context, it is important to understand what conversion optimization is and our motivations for doing it. So CRO is simply a system for trying to get more visitors to complete a desired action on your website. This could be purchasing a product, completing an application form, clicking a button, or signing up to an email newsletter. And increasing the percentage of people completing these actions are likely to have a positive impact on your business and generate more revenue. So there is good motivation behind doing CRO. We generally increase conversion rates by testing variations of web pages or elements on a page and measuring the success against conversion metrics. And so this is how it works. With traditional browser-based testing, there is a JavaScript which sits at the top of every page on your website. And the optimization script works something like this. In this example, we have two visitors about to visit the page on the Kraken Data website. They both click the link to go to the Kraken Data website. And as the page starts to load, the optimization script runs. And its first job is to hide the page from displaying to the visitor. Now, once it has hidden the page, it communicates with a server to see if there is a test running on the page. If there is no test running, the site will continue to load as normal. If there is a test running, it will enroll the visitor into the test and then decide which variation of the web page they should see. For our visitor on the left, it was decided that they would see variation A, which just happens to be the original version of the page. As there is nothing to change on the page, the script unhides the page to reveal variation A. Now, for our visitor on the right, they were placed into variation B of the page. Now, since this is not the original version of the page, the server sends back a set of instructions which tells the browser how to rearrange the page before the script can unhide the page. Now, all these changes happen on the visitor's browser inside their computer. And this is important to understand as it can place limitations on what you're able to test. It will be easy to test UI changes, but very difficult to test business logic. And once we have displayed this page, we can then track what the visitors do. In this example, we want them to complete and submit the form on the page. And then by tracking this as a conversion event, we can see which variation has the highest conversion rate. The next step from client-side browser-based testing came in the form of SDKs for popular mobile platforms like iOS and Android, followed by SDKs for attached devices like Roku and Apple TV. And due to the way apps are built, there is a lot more technical know-how required to build and run optimization tests compared to browser-based tests. And in many instances, it requires an updated app to be released before users can be exposed to these tests. The general principle is the same as browser-based testing, but the implementation slightly varies. Like browser-based testing, users of the apps will be enrolled into experiments and then exposed to different variations of screen layout, content, or other UI changes. Specific actions will then be measured as conversion events. These could be launching a video, making an in-app purchase, or using a specific feature of the app. And as new platforms are created, optimization companies will likely release new SDKs to enable testing and optimization across these new platforms. So optimization tools for websites and app SDKs have been available for a number of years now. Now, these tools allow us to determine the best variation through collecting conversion events and determining which variation has the highest conversion rate. And this is great for testing anything which can be manipulated within the browser, like UI elements and content. But it's not so good for testing anything which is controlled server-side, like pricing and business logic. So where do we go from here? Well, what if we want to test server-side functionality? Well, Optimizely recently released what they call their full stack product, which includes SDKs for popular programming languages like Python, Java, PHP, and the others you can see listed on the slide. The number of supported languages will likely increase as demand grows. Now, our Kraken shop is based on PHP, and utilising a server-side SDK, we could test pricing algorithms to see what generates the most sales or generates the highest revenue. We could test search results, ordering, possibly new product categories, or even completely new features could be tested as they're being served up by a server and not controlled by the browser. As utilising these SDKs requires implementing code on the server side, it will likely take longer to implement tests while code goes through the company's proper release cycles. I can see this opening up a lot of opportunities, but companies will need to have a strong focus on testing and approve resources and processes to roll out these tests. Now, the definition of CRO I showed earlier is a shortened version of the definition from Wikipedia. And the definition is very specific about CRO being linked to a website. But we've already talked about apps for mobile phones and televisions, so we have already moved outside of this definition. So the biggest change moving forward is likely to be on what platforms we optimize and what metrics we measure to determine success. So keeping this in mind, we need a new definition which encompasses other technologies and success metrics. So maybe we should just go back to the standard definition of optimization. Now, we've spoken about websites, apps and TVs, but anywhere there's an interaction between a device and a person has the potential to be optimized. Ordering kiosks are a great example. This is McDonald's Create Your Own Taste kiosk, and according to reports has been such a success in Australia that the company is rolling them out in other markets. But could it be better and more successful? Does changing the interface impact the ability of a customer to complete an order? Does rearranging the ingredients selection result in a customer spending more on a burger? Can the timing and display of upsell items increase the average order basket size? Now, in this situation, we're probably not looking to increase the conversion rate, as the customer has already physically gone into a store with the intent to purchase. However, there are many tests which could be run to increase the customer value. And it doesn't need to be just sales-based kiosks. Can changes to check-in kiosks at airports reduce queuing times and improve traffic flow through the airport? Can ATM machines upsell products or be used to convince a user to switch banks? Virtually any kiosk you see could be optimized. And while we've spoken mostly about increasing sales, which is in essence the current definition of CRO, an area where optimization tools are currently being underutilized is for testing internal business systems. Inbound call center KPIs are generally based around call times, so saving 20 to 30 seconds per call could be saving companies millions of dollars per year and improving customer satisfaction. Being able to test screen flows, data entry flows, and business rule changes could create a bigger return on investment than some sales-orientated testing. Now, if your current CRM is browser-based, it is possible you could utilize the currently available tools to implement optimization testing. And augmented reality has been around for a while now and will likely generate higher adoption rates when the technology is seamlessly embedded into products we use every day. Products like car windscreens, sunglasses, helmet visors, and mobile phones. Now, many mobile phones are already capable of some sophisticated AR tricks, and iOS introduced AR Kit. And according to Tim Cook, we'll be waiting a bit longer for the tech to be fully embedded in a pair of glasses. But when we do, physical stores will be able to test and optimize augmented overlays to encourage people to enter the store. Beacons will be able to track who enters the stores and where they go. Conversion events will be measured in foot traffic instead of clicks, in-store sales instead of checkout funnels. Manufacturers could test alternative assembly instructions to increase production efficiencies. Online retailers could analyze rooms in your house to provide appropriate furniture recommendations based on your current styling, creating a personalized experience and potentially optimizing the chances of you purchasing matching furniture. And depending on the platform, it may already be possible to integrate an iOS SDK for optimization into an iPhone AR app. And another example of augmented reality is the virtual dressing room. Now, this is where it could be possible to test physical world elements like lighting and temperature to encourage a sale. What if we could self-adjust lighting which changed hue based on a person's skin color, or adjusted position to ensure a more flattering appearance? Could we adjust the temperature to make a person feel warm while they're trying on a new jacket? Change the scent in a room to simulate the experience of being near the ocean or out in the country. Of course, it's not just about the physical environment, but also optimizing the interface of the virtual change room to make a sale easier and recommend appropriate products. Being able to test in the physical environment is going to be an interesting opportunity. And chatbots and live people chat are now commonplace on websites and social media platforms. According to one report in VentureBeat, there are over 2 billion messages sent between businesses and consumers via Facebook Messenger each month. Now, that's a hell of a lot of communication. The percentage of these which are chatbots is a little unclear, but what is clear is there are a lot of traffic which is available to test different chatbots, different algorithms, and different personas. Chatbots have become an online sales assistant, and they could be one of your most successful sales channels. Very small increases in conversions via chat could result in substantial revenue lift. And this is an area where artificial intelligence could really excel in optimizing sales or engineering a desired result. As every chat will be different, the AI will learn and adapt to provide responses, or change persona based on the person's demographic, or perhaps switch demeanor when detecting the person's mood. It's also likely that these chatbots will become voice controlled and be replying voice. And when this happens, we'll be testing different voices, accents, speech speed, and other vocal differences to identify what converts best. And while we're on AI, some optimization tools have started to include what they claim to be AI features into their products. Currently, I would argue some of these are just basic algorithms and not true AI, but over time, they will incorporate true AI. At the most basic level, products are including features which automatically switch off poorly performing variations during a test, so to minimize the conversions lost during the testing period. Other AI features being touted include image recognition for showing product recommendations without having to have historical data, automatically running all your test ideas at once to find the test combinations or ideas across multiple pages. So could all this be a precursor to your website being self-optimizing? Will we install a WordPress AI optimization plugin which looks at the site, establishes it is an online store, and starts testing elements on the pages to make you more profit? And we collect a lot of information about ourselves. Watches collect exercise data, heart rates and sleep patterns. Scales take weight and body mass readings. There are apps for logging our food consumption, our drinking habits, and for measuring your IQ. Thermostats and other devices are taking readings of our environment. Now, if we are measuring all these things, we should be doing something with the data to optimize our lives. But the question now becomes, who should be responsible for our optimization? Is it up to us as users to run our own tests to optimize ourselves based on the available data? Or should it be app developers with access to millions of different users to create the ultimate in a personalized experience? Alternatively, will healthcare providers push programs to customers to keep them fitter and healthier and drive down costs? Human optimization potentially has a return on investment for everybody involved. In summing up, what we can see into the future is there'll be more SDKs be available as new platforms come to market. Self-serve kiosks will virtually any device which has a human interface will be open for optimization and should be optimized. Augmented reality will open up a completely new set of opportunities for testing changes to the physical environment, and conversion events will happen in the physical space. Optimization techniques will be adapted to reduce costs instead of purely to increase sales. Artificial intelligence will play a key part in the future of optimization products and may pave the way for a website which is self-optimizing. But I think we should all be looking to optimizing ourselves. Thank you.